Howdy. So it's just sunset, first day of the weekend out here. Um, After a week of decent up and down temperatures you need for maple syrup. Today it rained and snowed or rained most of the day and turned to ice. And now it's finally clear. Um, and we went around and been boiling all day. We already canned up about a gallon of maple syrup. That's already finished in jars, and we have the arch going. So I'm gonna walk inside. It's pretty dark, much darker than it looks in the camera. So we'll see how this comes out. I'll probably have to turn the camera on and off inside so I can change the settings. But you can see here how we have all the windows open, and that lets the air flow out nice. So we have the side window open over here, and the front windows are down, and the side windows out the top. And the top of it, we can see how we left the end off the trim, and that allows the steam out the top. Last time I had you guys out here, I didn't show you the chimney because it wasn't in place. Sorry. Here's the chimney mounted up. And it's just old chimney pipe we had lying around. The whole point of this project is to be relatively inexpensive. So I'm going to go inside now and we'll take a look. So here you can see we have the two buckets, two 55-gallon drums. Right now we're only using one of them. We fill in the top there, and we empty out the bottom. We have that spigot running to a tube, and I tried to use a garden hose, but it just, because of the cold, I think it was just kinking. It wasn't allowing it to flow. Let me go inside here, and you'll see how everything else is. Okay, so here's our arch, the way we run it. I have that piece of stainless steel on the top to try to keep some of the heat in. On the front here, and then, sorry it's a little bit dark in here, I'm not sure how it's going to look in the camera. We have this opening on the front. Let me see if you can actually see that in the camera. Okay, it's down below your sight, but there's an opening on the front here that allows us to put wood in, and this is kind of hot, so I'm going to put it down. And right up in the front, toss wood in. We have a wood pile, which is where this camera is on. It's the wood pile right now. Tomorrow it's supposed to be below freezing all day, so the trees probably won't be running at all. And we're not sure if we'll do any boiling or not. So, one of the drawbacks to wearing glasses to a maple syrup is the fogging. So there was my manifold design there, you can see, with the 3 PVC pipes. And the problem I had, and the one that's behind most of the steam, and you can't see it very well, is this isn't an airtight system here. So some heat escapes around the pans, and it kind of caused that last manifold to melt a little bit. So next year I'll have to make it out of copper. But the way we tend to do things is we fill from this pan to this pan to this pan. So for what we're doing, it actually still works. I might just cut off that last one and seal it up with a cap. But I can run sap into this first pan, and I let it drip constantly so it doesn't burn down. And I can also increase the flow by opening up the valve on the tank. And then we move from one pan to the next, like this, just with a full pot. So that back pan is the most finished product. So you move from this pan to this pan. And you don't want to get too high because of steam. I can't even see that well. I'm about an inch from the top right now back there. That pan is almost all maple syrup at this point. And I'll take this pan and fill this up. We've also found that we're using a 4-inch stovepipe in the back to go to our 6-inch chimney, and I think we need to go to a 6-inch chimney next year because we're not drafting as well as we think we should. So let me fill this up now. Those pans are about an inch from the top on both of them. So I'm going to let this run while I get the wood going. But this is all really we do when we're out here. That and walking from tree to tree about every 3 or 4 hours and emptying the buckets. So it's not a lot of work. But it's steamy, as you can see. So I'm going to fill that one pan up to about 2 inches. And we're going to run this tonight. And then tomorrow we'll probably finish that last batch on the stove inside. As I take these pans. And as I empty this pan up for the end of tonight, I'll empty this one into here. And I'll block this chamber up with some extra stainless steel we have, like this piece here. And then I'll keep on working my way back until I get to that last pan. I'll take that inside and finish it on the stove where I can watch it. You have to be more careful. One of the interesting things, I'm going to put an article on my blog page and I'll put a link to it. I broke my hydrometer, which they're very fragile, and I dropped it like about 1/4 of an inch into the syrup cup, and it cracked. So we're like, well, what the heck are we going to do? We have a couple friends around who do maple syrup on a larger scale. We called one of them up, and he was able to hook us up with a hydrometer. We went to his place. I took some pictures of his setup. He taps 5,000 trees, and he also and he processes 2,000 gallons of maple syrup a year. So his setup's a bit bigger. So I took some pictures of his. I didn't get our glove on. I didn't do any video there, but he was kind enough to let me take some pictures of his setup. And he runs on natural gas because he has natural gas wells on his property, so therefore he gets most of the fuel for free, which makes it more cost effective. If he didn't, he said he'd run oil to run his size operation. So now I put the top back down, that keeps the heat trapped. I have the wood inside there, and this is good to go. I did a video last year of me finishing the process. I'll put a link to that in the description below. You can watch that. It's the same process it was last year. There's no point in doing another video. But this is our arch setup and how we do maple syrup on a low budget. As everyone has watched this whole series of videos on my maple syrup stuff knows that cost is our biggest concern. If it costs more than actually going out and buying a gallon of maple syrup, then it doesn't make any sense for us. We should be able to do 5 gallons this year. That's our goal. We should be able to do it. I've already seen some changes I'm going to make for next year, like raising these 55-gallon drums up higher, and then putting a fill spot on the outside, so with like a ladder or something that we can dump into, so we have more gravity working for us. And change my spout design, my manifold to copper, and maybe have the Amish make us up a pan, and that will put us over budget probably, but the pan will last several years. We can have them make it exactly how big we want it. They can put cross pieces for heat, and they'll put basically like a maze down it, and that'll allow the pan to heat up more evenly. So we'll see. But I wanted to get a video done tomorrow. It doesn't look like we'll be doing boiling because of the temperature, and we're running out of light today. So I wanted to get the video in. And like I said, I'll put a couple links to blog posts and old videos on the finishing process and some pictures of our friend's larger commercial scale. Still redneck, very redneck, but commercial scale maple syrup operation. So, yeah, I think that's it for this week. If I do another video, I might, but I'm not sure if I have anything to do. So, until next time. Thanks for watching.